Alright, so what is going on, guys? Today we're going to do the trade breakdown of the trade that I took yesterday, which was a short back into a sell side liquidity pool. You might have seen it. It is the short in the AM session of 15 of August. 15th of August. So, as always and as usual, we're going to start inside the daily chart plus the weekly because I also have the weekly levels. What I saw here is that inside the daily time frame, as we outlined yesterday, price went right above the inversion volume imbalance, this one, laying a body, in which we wanted to see a body being laid down due to the characteristics of the volume balance. This is the thing that I wanted to see. Thus, or therefore, today within the weekly range characteristics of Tuesday, half the week we're expecting lower prices inside the AM session and PM. So what I saw was this inversion fair value gap, which will actually act as resistance, which means that price will go into it and then ultimately lower. Why? Because we have the narrative that we're going below this sell side here, the consequent encouragement of the weekly wick, which is only the mean threshold of this down close candle, the 50%, and ultimately the sell side. So without narrative in mind from the weekly and the monthly chart, this could have not been possible. And I might be wrong, but for this day in particular, I was profitable. So I don't care about being right or wrong. That is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way in the past, I don't know, a lot of months. So this is the day we're investigating. We're going to go into a lower time frame chart, or into the ES rather. What I saw here in the ES is that, sorry, we reacted from the daily bearish order block, which takes us with the idea that we're going below 441125. So we have this bearish order block here, and then we react. Why is this an inversion fair value gap? Because I write them in advance, like you saw in that video. I said at, I don't know, 9:50 or 9:16, I dragged this, which I'm gonna show you, and I said uh, inversion fair value gap, but future. So this is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing price going below it, and if it goes below it and close below it, I would want to see this act as resistance into these lower prices. And for the Dow, I do not especially like the Dow. I like this rally. I like this that we came back to this rally gap, but this does not support my shorting idea currently. So I believe that the Dow can consolidate. And in the 60-minute time frame, I had a screenshot of the explanation on why I chose this and of this chart, like how it is right here, but it didn't load inside Notion, so I just completely lost it. But I took it for my video. So with that narrative in mind from the daily chart, what I wanted to see was a fake move onto the opening between 8:30 and 9:30. So we saw this buy side liquidity being taken, and then we had the 50-minute. This is the 50-minute chart. 15, not 50, 15. That is buy side here. We had this inversion gap, which is also the correlate with this fair value gap here. But what we see here is that price went back into a 60-minute very short block here, which you cannot see. But we had a 60-minute very short block, also the 60-minute CB. Then we ran lower under this low. I expected price to come here and then ultimately drop into these levels, which I don't believe we saw, but it was worth not taking for the drawn liquidity in itself. So what do we have here? This is the nitty gritty. This is the fire. What we have right here is this. Here is that inversion gap I showed you in the screenshot before, predicted at 9 a.m. Like this is 9:46. We've already came down, so at like 37 minutes before. But what I saw here was the fact that look at these highs here between ES and NQ. So we had higher highs, we had relatively lower highs on ES, and also higher highs on the Dow. So that was a confirmation for our bias, for our direction. Therefore, what we saw here, what I told you in the recording, I told you when we were making these candles here, I wrote down, you can go and watch the video, I wrote down IFVG future, which means that I want to see price go below it, go above it, because I put a line here. I told you I'm looking for these buy side first, and I'm looking for these down close candles to become a bearish breaker, which they they did, but not in the manner that I wanted. So what I had in mind was that I want to see price come below it, higher, below, resistance, lower. That is why I wrote IFVG future, and I highlighted this high because I want to see price go, even though we went above this buy side. It was the 9:30 opening. The retail traders are going to try and get inside to like write down the, I don't know, the trend or whatever they think that is relevant. We went higher into this IFVG, which I told you guys about before, and then we rallied lower to do what? I told you here, watch this IFVG. We closed below it, therefore we're gonna use it as resistance. Price went higher into this very short block and then closed in this. So therefore, in the next candle, when this opens and when this goes above it one more time, we're gonna sell short with the stop loss above this because we took buy side. So now there's no reason to go here, paying the trader here the trade value gap, because I don't mind, I don't care about these targets. I'm using them as to draw liquidity for now. When I'm gonna get more experience, I'm gonna actually hold for these targets and make them partial. So partial 1 at this, because this is just too close to it. Partial 1, partial 2, partial 3, and actually leaving something for the downside objective, for a lower downside objective. But the most interesting part is that all of this also occurs inside a daily inversion volume balance. Right here, all this orange shaded area is happening right in this one right here. There's a lot to talk about. And then we have the random 50-minute reversal level. We have the random IFVG, and that's my reading. You can pause it and read it if you want, but we actually hit these levels too. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next time. Peace.